you. Divya is working in the presentation mastery path, level 3, persuasive speaking. The purpose of this project is to understand different types of persuasive speeches and deliver a speech that inspires belief and action. Ladies and gentlemen, the Divya Dsouza, the courage to be yourself. The courage to be yourself, Divya Dsouza.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let me ask you all a question. When was the last time you were truly yourself, without editing words, adjusting behavior, or wondering how people perceive you? I'm pretty sure that the answer all of us may say is rarely. So today I'm going to share with you something that is deeply personal to me, the courage to be yourself. So let me take you down a journey way back when I was a little child. When I was a young girl, I always remember my mother saying, Divya, you should be seen and not heard. And I would wonder why. She said girls should always be prim and proper, polite and respectable. And I wasn't always respectable, and I always was sure to get a nice whack from my mother. And slowly, I find myself becoming silent, nodding, smiling, adjusting. And slowly, as I grew older to becoming a teenager, I also had to swallow some of my opinions, even when my voice or my thoughts really mattered. Sometimes, even I would stop myself from expressing myself, especially when it hurt me. And sometimes I would forget to even say what I really wanted to say because I wasn't sure that I was going to be even heard. Years passed, my friends, before I even realized I had gotten into that pattern of adjusting myself so that I will be liked, I will be accepted, or maybe even loved. So, as days went by, years went by, I was functioning, smiling, doing all the things that I was expected to do. But years later, it was one day when my 5-year-old daughter, Sasha, just slapped me out of the reality that I was in. She said, Mama, you always say, believe in yourself, because only when you believe in yourself, people will believe in you. And I said, so what am I doing wrong, Sasha? She says, Mama, every time you wear a sari or wear anything, you keep asking us, how am I looking? Am I dressed well? Or how did I speak? Did I speak well? Why are you asking questions? Don't you believe in yourself? And that day, I had a very silent but a very unsettling revelation that I'm 40 years old and I'm still seeking validation. I'm 40 years old and I'm still waiting for permission to live my life the way I want to live it. So I made a decision then, my friends, that I'm not going to seek validation anymore. I'm going to take that small step for myself. So from then, I learned that there was not going to be any drama because of this revelation or tears or breakdown. I would start small. And from then, I realized that it would only have to be one small task, maybe one small truth, or maybe even an opportunity to stand for myself for who I am, or maybe even to say no when I really wanted to say no and not just say yes because I had to please somebody in my family or my friend. Slowly but surely, I learned that I was standing by myself, no longer abandoning myself just to seek approval from others. So, may I invite you all, my friends, to just take a moment to think and pause. How many times in our lives do we do this? We are always seeking approval from our family, sometimes from our employers, or even from our friends. And at what cost? We're losing ourselves just because we want to gain others. And at the cost of what? Losing who you are, your authenticity, your credibility. Because when you change yourself just for acceptance from others, you must remember something that I wish I had learned a long time back. The version you present yourself or the version you present into others is being accepted, not the real you. So I decided that day that if I want to be true to myself, I first have to be honest to myself. And that started the journey of authenticity. So may I all invite each and every one of you to take that courage, take that step. Because why, my friends, do we actually stop ourselves? What is the real reason that we're not able to reveal who we are? It's only because of this four-letter word, FEAR, fear. Sometimes we have the fear of being accepted. Sometimes we have the fear of disappointing others. Or sometimes we have the fear of not being liked. And that's all we want. Every human being wants to be loved, wants to be accepted. So, what can we do? How can we embrace ourselves, be authentic, and be true to ourselves? Just as I shared with you a few moments ago, all it takes is one honest answer. One moment when you can say no, even when inside you're scared to say. Or maybe another time where you have to stand for yourself, for what matters. And maybe some of your friends may drift away, but that's okay. That happened to me as well. But the ones that stayed were the ones that connected to me, the true me, not the version that I performed. So I decided that day I will stop performing. I will stop adjusting. I will be who I am, just as I am. So let me ask all of you, ladies and gentlemen, I think you could try just a little courage, just to be yourself. Rather than pleasing others, accept yourself. Because on this hand, you may lose your peace. On this hand, you may gain it. But what matters is you've come home to yourself. So have the courage to be yourself. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. May I request the timer's report, please?
Yes, the speaker took 7 minutes and 35 seconds.